Yo, what's up guys? My name is Kyrie Boss and I'm here to tell you how much money you need to start your first business. This is how much money I made with my first company, so let's get to it. You have to figure these things out before you start your first business. I want to make enough money to leave my job. And you have to understand the goal. So the first thing you need to understand is energy. Money is energy. If you do not have energy, you cannot make money. Now, you don't need energy to make money, but you have to understand that money is a transfer of energy. Once you understand that money is energy, you'll be able to get energy from anywhere in the world. Think of money like coffee. The more coffee you give someone, the more energy they have. And people are willing to give you coffee for exchange of a product or a service. Think of your company as like a flow of energy. If you have enough energy in your company, you will be able to sustain for a long time, AKA money. The question is, how much money do you need to start a business? When you think of business, money, like energy, that'll give you your answer. Now, if you want to leave your job and that's why you want to start your first business, you have to figure these things out before you start your first business. The reason why I say that is because you cannot make your goal if you do not know what you want. If you just want to leave your job, say, I just want to make enough money where I leave my job. And if you can say that and you can be clear with yourself and you can understand what you want, you'll be 10 times more likely to hit your goal. At least that was for me. But I was forced into it. And I think being forced into it is a better thing than not being forced into it. In the sense of, when I left, I had to make enough money to pay my bills. But the thing is, I didn't have a fucking choice because I didn't have a job. My job just ended. I was a seasonal job and it just ended. And I didn't have a fucking choice. Either I paid my bills or I went homeless. It was like, if you don't pay your bills, you're cooked. I suggest you guys figure out what you want and do it very fast, because the quicker you start, the quicker you can fuck up. If you start too late, it is all ibbity-dibbity-dibbity. You do not want to be late. You do not want to be screwed over. You do not want to come in after everyone has already ran the race. You need to understand the race is there to be won. But if you do not understand what race you are running, you are screwed. Second step, figuring out your goal. If you don't know what you want, it's going to be very hard to get what you want. You need to start by having a goal. If you want to make enough money to leave your job, write it down on the board. I want to make enough money to leave my job. Write it down. Once you write it down, now you understand how much energy to put towards that goal. Second, you have to understand the goal. Why do you need that energy and why do you want that energy? So you can figure out how much energy you want to put towards that specific topic or task or business.